The next poet that I would like to call up tonight is Nicole Girard. And I just want to say something about Nicole. Every time Nicole reads a poem in class, I feel a deep sense of gratitude, because her voice always seems to reach the spots where I'm just looking. And she always comes up with something that everyone goes, yeah, that's satisfaction. Her poems are entertaining, funny, serious, and wise. So come on up, Nicole.
Thank you very much, Jade. I'm going to start with something that is not funny and not wise, but it is the one thing that we all have in common right now. This is my free verse, and it's called Completely Lost on Me. The chill moves in, blue and heavy, squeezes the weakening sunshine out. Fingers creak, stiff and painful, toes encapsulated in frozen metal boots. The cold winter season suffocates me. I stand on its crumbling cusp, month after month of darkness, icy winds, icy roads, icy sidewalks. I drive to and from work in the dark, spend all day in a shop with no windows. Beloved sunshine, a sweet surprise, only briefly on weekends. Year after year, winter gets harder to take. Frostbitten cheeks, oversized clothes, long underwear, long somber nights. The sparkling beauty of snow completely lost on me. The next poem I'm going to read is my persona poem. I just finished a 4-year apprenticeship as a heavy-duty mechanic. I work in a shop that's mostly men. I was the first female to go through the apprenticeship program. And there were a lot of guys who thought it was great, and there were those who didn't like the fact that there was a woman in their world. And so my persona poem is written from their perspective. It's called I'll Never Admit It. I've watched her since she started, a woman on the shop floor with her smock a little too loose, those boots too big for those ridiculous legs. Smug is how she looks, with that constant grin. She's not laughing with us. She must know she doesn't belong here. Progress is no excuse. Once you let one in, more will follow. And look at that, they did. Management has no standards nowadays. Now they're making me work with her, teach her what I know, like she could ever learn that. I did my best to pawn her off. I'll just give her the minimum. Maybe she'll think it's too hard. Maybe she'll cry and quit. I can only hope. Well, at least she shows up every day. You have to give her that. Better than half these spoiled young dumbasses still mooching off their parents at 25. She keeps coming over here with more and more questions. I guess they are good questions. Seems like she's actually learning. When I explain stuff, she listens. Doesn't pretend she knows everything. Made a few mistakes, but usually pretty careful. Seems like she's trying. She seems kind of tough. None of the guys have made her cry yet. She just laughs and teases back. Maybe she's okay, but I'll never admit it. All right, let me find something else here. I've been having a really tough fall. I've had a whole bunch of friends who have just had a myriad of problems from, death to just crazy stuff, going through troubles with marriage, going through surgeries, going through, it's just been crazy. And I wrote this poem. It's a chirelle. It's called The Phone Call Arrives, and it's about just trying to do my best to be there for them. The phone call arrives. I have 2 friends, both far away, who are struggling with their lives. Sometimes I give up the plans I've made and listen when the phone call arrives. One has had plastic surgery, the other's stuck in the confines of wives. Bodily pain and emotional debris, I listen when the phone call arrives. My precious friends are suffering the results that their choices derive. I share and hope that it's enough just to listen when the phone call arrives. The next one I'm going to read is my Obeyed. My mornings are early and not that happy. So it's hard to write an Obeyed that actually feels good. So I decided to sort of go into the imaginary world. This is called Lark Song Beeping. Woken up by the morning ringer, I hit the button that lets me snooze. I give up extra time to linger, unconcerned about the time I'll lose. I lay my head back on my pillow, drift as my liquid dream flows back. I do not see the curtains billow while letting sunshine through the crack. I dream of easy summer mornings, of walking to a river rolling. No awful modern electronic warning, no harbinger of the workday tolling. Wrapped up in my cozy covers, I lounge until the sun burns hot, then crawl away from my snoring lover and put some coffee in the pot. The summer sunlight's bright and sharp, the wide open sky's the lightest blue. I'm listening to the song of a lark, exulting in this glorious view. Now wait, there's something not quite right. A sudden nasty chill is seeping over my peaceful treed campsite. Since when does lark song sound like beeping? Crap, I'm not at the river today. I'm in my bed on this workday dawn. I have to go out there and earn my pay. I open my eyes, stretch and yawn. One of the forms that Jade has brought up several times in these classes is the elegy. And I had trouble writing this form because the only person to write an elegy form that came into my mind was my dad. And it took me a long time to be able to write for him. He passed away 3 years ago in really awful circumstances. And he was basically really deep into alcoholism, and it took him. And so this is the poem that I wrote for him. It's called The Shoelace, for my dad. On a Monday evening in August, my brother calls to tell me you died. Your roommate, your last link to the world, died 2 months earlier. The police entered your home after you missed rent for the second month. Alone, without hope and helpless. You couldn't even write a check. There was a beautiful day in my childhood when I admired you. A bright, sparkling afternoon, a hot beach full of families. I saw a girl trying to play, but her bathing suit straps kept falling off. You saw her too and tied the straps together with your shoelace. You prided yourself on helping others, but couldn't call when you had nothing left. Dead for 2 weeks, the coroner said, while we lived on, unaware. Your crippling need for drink isolated you from your family, then consumed you. Now I'm at your funeral with 100 people who could not reach you. We let you go, and relief ripples through us at the end of your suffering. We embrace the love you could never see in your meager life. I have struggled through many days, empty and weighed down by your darkness. In this morning sunshine, I hold that sadness and see joy everywhere. I'm going to end on a happier note. This is my blank verse. It's called What I Really Love. And I read this poem by Rumi, and a quote by him really struck me. And part of the whole fall with a lot of people that I know having huge problems, I've also been doing a lot of thinking about myself and thinking about who I am and what makes me tick, and this poem came out of that. The Rumi quote is, "Let yourself be silently drawn by the stronger pull of what you really love." And so I called it What I Really Love. I love silence and serene time to sit. I love losing myself in a novel. I love seeing shy people creating. I love placing my pen on blank paper. I love listening to people play music. I love dancing and drinking red wine. I love sharing stories, laughter, and joy, belting out lyrics to my favorite songs. I love damp woods on dark, sleepless nights, watching the river as evening flows by, tasting the water of a lake on my skin. I love solitude and the sky full of stars. I love good friends and good conversation, close talks from our guts that open our souls. I love the feeling when someone gets me. I feel known and less alone in the world.